welcome. And the Sunday School lesson for Sunday, November the 5th, 2023 is freedom from expectations. Okay, so how, as believers, how can we live free from expectations? How can we live in the world without expectations of ourselves? Well, we have expectations of ourselves, but expectations for others, especially when they say they are believers.
And we should stop that, because it's almost like judging to me.
Yeah,
you're setting expectations how they should believe, because we already got that division with the Jehovah's Witness, Baptist, Mormon, Protestant, Catholic. Everybody has their way. This is what they believe. So myself personally, since I'm as old as I am now, I respect what their beliefs are. How they see it. Okay, but when I do come among them, I'm going to share what I believe. But I don't believe in being rude or disrespectful to them. But if they want to force their ideology onto me, I will sit there and find the appropriate time to bow out, because I don't want to get in an argument with anybody. Because one thing is love, hate is hate.
It's not just like we have a difference of beliefs as far as denomination. It can just be humans. We have difference of opinions and different experiences.
See, that's the key point.
So that doesn't mean we have to get into an argument or we may disagree, but we don't have to get all bent out of shape over the disagreement, or we see something different than they see it.
If everybody would understand, good, bad, or indifferent, everybody experiences something different in their journey in this life. Because Think of a serial killer. Something really went wrong. Could be chemically unbalanced, or the way their parents treat them, or the environment they were in. It's you got to stop and think about that. Is it really their fault? Okay, and not using that word fault. That's tricky too.
Yeah, that is tricky.
Yeah, because one thing is, everybody knows when they're warm and when they're cold. They understand that. They understand the basics. They understand what's right and what's wrong. There's some that's in there. God, we'll put it this way, in the scriptures that we have here, and I forgot what verse, it's the 8th verse. God knows the heart. That's what's so important, and we don't know the heart.
And as far as how people behave, like you say, a serial killer, or mental health. I mean, it can be a number of factors. I'm not a mental health professional, but I can say, I can speculate that maybe in the conception or after the person got here, the foundation, something happened in their life that turned them into whatever, like whatever they turned out to be. That's not what's quote unquote normal. I'm not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a lot of factors involved, and we don't always know what all those factors are.
But the main thing is we do have control of ourselves, and sometimes we could be the cause of a person going into a mental state, or we could be the cause of a serial killer. We could be the cause of a great person. It depends on how you approach, with people. Do you approach it with love, or do you approach it with hate, or do you approach it with your self-centered? It's all about me and nothing about them.
Yeah, but like I said, it could be biological.
Yeah, but there's just so many moving variables in there. So
there is. So it is what it is.
Yeah,
Okay. So, I believe expectations are what we believe, what we believe how a person should act or behave. And especially when they say they are a believer, and then our expectations really go up for that person. But a lot of times,
but it was really interesting.
Our expectations can lead to disappointments, but we really shouldn't be disappointed.
But see, this lesson, freedom from expectations.
Right.
Okay, you remember I said, what is that? What does that mean? So we maybe have to start at some basics. In this case here, we know the lesson is freedom from the Mosaic law. Is basically what we come to the conclusion of. That's what it is. And basically,
Talking about the previous lesson.
No, it's this lesson.
Freedom
from expectations.
Okay, yeah. This lesson is talking about freedom from the Mosaic law.
Yeah. Okay. But see, the interesting part is that is the problem. If you, in this lesson, it boils down to there is a conflict between Judaism and Christianity, circumcision, and the Mosaic law. You must, that's what Paul and Barnabas went down to fight these ones that.
I think it's Barnabas.
Is it Barnabas?
Yes, Paul and Barnabas.
Barnabas, okay. I said Barabbas. Barnabas.
Yep, Barnabas.
Yeah, sorry about that. But see, the interesting part is they went down there to let them know that Judaism ended when Jesus Christ is on the cross, and now it's coming to Christianity. And Christianity is supposed to be what Jesus Christ was teaching when he was here. But the interesting part about it, they still got skewed, because today, from that time to here, we got Baptists and all these other denominations and everything, and they all have their traditions and their rituals that goes along with it, just like circumcision and everything. Because I can turn around, is it required that you have to be baptized in order to be saved? Okay, the answer is no. Do you need to be sprinkled? No. So if you go to the other, they don't believe in associating with the secular world.
Who's they?
I myself personally, I really, when I start mentioning denominations, they're thinking I'm against it.
Well, just say people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's people.
People have different beliefs, different perspectives, different understanding.
Yes. And this particular people don't believe in secular. As a matter of fact, you can go to a junior college, but you can't go to a university because, my interpretation, my personal interpretation of that is that you don't want anyone's mind expanded to challenge your ideology. So, and to me, this is what this lesson, Paul and was it Barnabas? Barnabas. I keep saying Barnabas. Mm-hmm. They went down, and matter of fact, Barnabas is the one.
They went down to Jerusalem, I believe, Jerusalem.
Yeah, and Barnabas, he's the one that introduced Paul the Apostle to the disciples.
And I think they went to resolve a conflict.
Of circumcision.
Circumcision versus, the circumcision was under the Mosaic law, correct?
Yes.
Okay, versus just accepting and believe Jesus's, life and his crucifixion and his resurrection. Mm-hmm. So that was like a conflict between their beliefs. So I think that's one reason why we have different denominations today, because people have expectations about what a person should believe, and if they don't believe what I believe, I'm moving on, Mm-hmm. I'm going to start this, or I'm going to start that. So I think that's, I think I may be wrong, that denominations are maybe a result of the conflict in the different beliefs and expectations.
Yes, it is, because,
people.
Because some, there's some people, if you don't speak in tongue and you're not talking with a heavenly language and everything, and then he says you're not saved. I said, that's what's so funny about that. Because, we talked about it. They could be cursing God out. And we don't even know. Oh, it's a heavenly language. I have to trust what you say.
Yeah.
How about speaking? How about talking to me where I can understand you? Because there's more value in that.
A heavenly language. I don't even understand what that means.
Yeah.
And I'm not, discrediting people that speak in tongues. Mm-hmm. But I'm just wondering, do they know what they're saying?
Do they know what they're saying? It looks on the surface, it looks great. But guess what? Back to this 8th verse. He knows the heart and the intention of those individuals. So,
as they say, we drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I think we need to learn how to think for ourselves based on information that we receive, or we read, or we hear, and not just take even what we're saying as quote unquote face value.
Yeah.
You can, there's a lot of resources out there where you can look information up and see other people's perspective on, being a believer.
Yeah.
And what that looks like and what that means.
Validate what we're saying.
Yeah.
Validate it. And, as far as the expectations that you were saying, if they don't think like what I think, then something's wrong with that. Or you want to go with all people like-minded. Oh, everybody here, we all believe in speaking in tongues. So, I feel comfortable in this place here. But somebody
have issues, and people were like doing everything we're doing today, basically. Like
nothing's changed.
Murdering people, cheating people.
Still doing it.
Stealing.
Con still doing it.
Yeah, so
murder still doing it.
It's just like human.
Yep.
Human being human. So human being human doesn't mean that we always have to be
part of it.
Doing the wrong thing,
Nope.
or we still have obligation or responsibility to do the right thing, and our behavior should reflect what's in our heart.
Yep.
If we are a believer, what about a person that says they're a believer, but their fruit is like they lie, cheat, and steal? They do like stuff that we wouldn't, or they have behavior that we wouldn't equate or expect from a believer.
So that's an interesting point. I don't understand why people don't get that. It's simple. I can easily say, I'm. You know how tall I am? I'm 10 feet tall. I'm physically 10 feet tall. I can say that, can't I?
No, you can't, because you're not.
I'm actually 6'1".
Okay.
But 10 feet tall. I can say it, but that doesn't mean I am 10 feet tall.
Okay.
But a person saying that they're Christian still doesn't mean they're Christian, because it has to match with their behavior and their thoughts.
Mm-hmm. I like what we were talking to our friends the other day, and I like what she said about we're not judging people by what they do, but we can be, she said, fruit inspectors.
Yeah, and I came back and say some inspectors need to be fired or they're incompetent. So,
okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead and inspect if you want.
Okay.
Be very careful changing the name from, I'm not a judge, but I'm just an inspector. That's a good thing. I like that.
Basically, it does, to me, it can mean the same thing.
Yeah, it can, but we really are. We should be inspecting things, but is there something we should do about it? We don't have the right, when we do something about it, then we become judges.
Right, and then who are we to judge someone? When we're not, we might be doing the same thing ourselves.
Well, no. See what I'm saying? I like the term fruit inspector, because myself personally, I'm going to expect what somebody is saying. I'm going to inspect, the leaders. Should I follow this leader? If I see things in this leader, I may. Well, in this case here, like for instance, there is one particular guy I really like him. I won't mention his name. He has a mega church and everything, but he also has flaws that I don't like. So guess what? I just listen to what is good and throw out what's bad.
But we all have flaws.
That's not the point.
Well, because he has flaws,
that's
I
an
don't want to
excuse.
listen to him.
No. You didn't listen to what I said.
Say it again then.
I said, I think he has a lot of good points, and I take the good and I throw out the bad.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. You take the good and throw out the bad.
Yes.
Have faith. But then I think you mentioned it in another video or in our discussion before about circumcision, not physically being circumcised, but getting rid of the pessimism in our heart, or the impatience in our heart, or the jealousy of our heart, or the stealing, those behaviors that don't reflect, that we wouldn't expect a believer to have. But then on the other hand, a believer is human, so maybe some believers do have some of those characteristics.
Okay,
I think that was a good comparison. Yeah, that's
my
clear.
baby.
Take the skin off. Okay. All right, so we know that Paul and Barnabas were leaders in the early church, right? And the church in Jerusalem, and they also started churches in other places. And they wanted to share with everybody that embracing the law of Moses was not the only way to have faith or to be saved. So how did the people resolve this conflict of their beliefs about circumcision, the Mosaic law, and grace? Well, I believe in the lesson it said that they sat down and they talked about it. So I think a lot of conflicts and disagreements, I mean, instead of getting angry and lashing out and
really
doing something that we
agree to disagree and know what it means.
that we regret or be sorry for or get incarcerated over.
Yeah.
Dialogue. Just sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah.
And this is what I understand the lesson was telling us. They sat down and they talked to Paul and Barnabas and the people. They sat down and had a conversation. And
it may have been a little heated and everything, but it got resolved. But they got it resolved. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's what people got to understand.
Yeah.
There may be a little passion and everything in it.
Yeah.
But still, as they say, God will go, and still, I'm not throwing out the house or anything.
Okay.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes we put expectations on people that we can't even do ourselves, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So a different viewpoint or different belief is no reason to argue or get angry or hold grudges or retaliate against someone.
Uh-huh.
Simply put, we saved by grace.
Ooh.
That means we can't do anything to earn it because we're human and we dysfunctional and we, what's the other word? We flawed and we're just not perfect.
And that same thing with Peter got up and he talked and he addressed it, head on, where he basically told him, he says, yeah, you're trying to put the Mosaic law or our old Judaism tradition. He says, we had a hard time as the Israelites trying to, stay within the law. So why put this yoke, this heavy burden on the Gentiles? Mm-hmm. So Peter talked about that. Mm-hmm. And that's what you were saying. Yeah. We expect people to do things that we can't even do ourselves.
That's like today. Why are there so many people in prison and jails? Because they couldn't obey the laws. Well, some of them I agree. Some of them are in jail or prison unjustly and have not done anything.
Well, it's not that.
But some of them are there because they did something they were supposed to do, like murder somebody. Or,
no. I'm talking about. I'd say I'm a black man, and a lot of us we go to
a lot
jail,
of it is an injustice.
And we're sitting in jail because
we
got 3 parking tickets and we're in there for 3 years. Come on.
Some of it is unjust. Yeah, that's true.
No.
Yeah.
It's unjust.
Some of it's just so.
This system is
The
flawed.
system is flawed, broken. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So
okay, we're gonna wrap this up.
She got enough of me.
Okay, I had enough of him. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope we said something that will help you provoke thought. And please leave comments below if you disagree or agree or have a different perspective or different understanding of freedom from expectations. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you next time.
And read your Sunday school lesson before you go to Sunday school.
Thanks for watching.